Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm saying that those of you, your bank account will look different if you stop being fake. God can't bless you while you fake. You would already be in a relationship if you stopped being fake. If you would have just told him who you are off the cuff, he would have accepted you. But you thought you had to be fake, and the fact that you was fake and he caught you in the lie, that's why he ain't with you. If you just would have told him off the cuff, this what you getting, he probably would have been like that. You still had that job if you hadn't lied and said you knew Excel. you just should have said you don't know Excel, but you need the job though. You didn't went in on Excel. You didn't even know Excel. You done got fired. They gave your first week. They was like, all right, we got this Excel spreadsheet. You like Excel. On your resume, you put you was Excel'd out. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, most of us are so desperate. Most of us are crying to God. Most of us are saying we're not where we want to be. And God is saying you're not where you want to be because you fake. You a phony. You trying to pretend to people to be something you're not. That if you would just be honest, you'd be further along. Praise God. How many in this room for me before we get into the word? How many of you going to make a commitment that God, from this day forward, I want to feel comfortable being honest with you if I can't be honest with nobody else. As of today, just come on. I want to help you. I'm not here to preach. I want to help you. How many of you are just honest? Amen. Is that all right? I want you to be comfortable being honest. So what I want you to do right now, I want you to think about your life, and I want you to think about a part of your life that could be where you could be further along the road. Let's travel. Further along the road. Let's travel. I want you to think of a part of your life like, yo, man, I should be further than where I am right now. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And I want you to take ownership. Now, Jeremy gave me a new word today. Jeremy said extreme ownership. And that's what I want you to do. From this day forward, you're about to go to a whole nother level because you're about to take what? You about to take what? Come on, you about to take what? Listen to me. We connected to God, y'all. We don't have to be fake. We don't have to be fake anymore. I wanted to free you up. I remember when I used to be fake. I remember when, and I wasn't trying to be fake. I just felt I wasn't going to be accepted if I wasn't who they thought I was. Does that make sense? So I was what I thought you wanted me to be so that you could accept me. And then God says that you're trying to be something that you're not, so you're never going to be accepted. So just be whatever you are. Nobody's preaching to you to be something else. I'm telling you that when God created you, he had something in mind. We need to be that. I remember Trey Hayden used to tell me all the time, you're minor in your major, you're majoring in your minor. I used to be like, what in the world? He like, bruh, you need to be more. I didn't realize that God did take me to Oakwood, but he didn't want me to take the same path that many of my friends that were in theology. God wanted me to go back in the world. So I looked foreign to my boy because it wasn't what? This is what God always had for me. But there was a time where I would be what Trey or Irv wanted me to be, because when I wasn't that, it didn't seem like they accepted me the same way they accepted me when I dressed the way they wanted me to dress. When I talked the way they wanted me to talk. And perhaps if I would have just been myself, they still would have accepted me. I just felt like they wouldn't accept me if I was myself. And so I pretended to be something I wasn't. And I wasted a whole bunch of time because I ended up coming back to myself. And we still cool. Irv was just at Michigan State. We still cool. So God is saying you don't have to be fake. I know you in your mother's innermost parts before you were created. Come on, before you were born, I knew you. If you got a sexual addiction, just tell me. If you you an alcoholic, just tell me. If you can't read, just tell. God says when you was at Oakwood, you couldn't read. Why didn't you just tell me you couldn't read? Why was you faking it like you could read and you were skipping class, not because you wanted to skip, but you skipped on the days that they was going to make you read out loud. You should have just confessed you couldn't read and I could have helped you. I'm just telling you, some of you in this room, man, God got so much for you and you can't get it because you're being fake. So I want you to think about an area. Go back to the definition. I want you to think about an area according to the word forward where you can go forward. The adverb, in the direction one is facing or traveling toward the front. I press toward the mark of a higher. I press Don't nobody press backwards. You don't press backwards, you press forward. And there are those of you in this room, because of what you've been through, you are quitting, you are giving up, you are surrendering. That is not God-like. That is not a characteristic of God. God didn't give you that. The enemy told you to be by yourself. The enemy told you to be lonely. Why? Because when he rejected God, he ran from God. Don't you run from God. Don't you run from your calling. Don't you run from your gift. Don't you run from the struggle. That struggle is meant to make you stronger. That struggle. Let me tell y'all something. I'm just being 1,000. When God gives you a gift and you in that gift, man, you could be so arrogant. I never knew I was going to be this. God is so smart that he knew I was going to be this. Oh, y'all missed what I just said. God knew when I was a high school dropout, when I was living in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash can, God never even saw me like that. God been saw me like this. Oh, y'all missed what I just said. I'm talking to somebody. God don't see you like your mistake. You see you like your mistake. God don't see you like that. God don't, listen to me. I got one homeboy who always want to remind me when I see him. He always want to remind me. Remember that car accident you got into when you were somewhere being somewhere you were? I'm like, why does he always want to remind me? God don't even remind me of that. Every time I see my man, that's all he want to talk about. But I get it though, because I'm walking in my gift. I guess that's offend you. So you got to try to always remind me of the worst part of my life because you don't want to accept the great part of my life. I'm not mad at you, bruh. But God didn't see me like that. God saw me as this. And because God saw me like this, he allowed that to happen because God knew if nothing ever happened to me and I just got this, that I would be arrogant. But some of the mistakes I made is what made me humble. Some of the mistakes I made is why I connect to other people. It ain't the PhD that make me humble. It ain't the New York Times bestseller that make me humble. It's the stuff that I got into that God had to come and get me out himself.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy E.T. Flight Assessment 2.0. Look, I love the assessment so much that it took me to a whole nother level. Like I'm telling y'all think I've always been here. I promise you, there was a time I was lost. I'm just being real. There was a time that I was just shooting. I didn't know what to aim for. Like I didn't know. And so I wasn't making the money I'm making now. I didn't know, y'all. I had a gift, but I didn't really know what the gift was. I didn't know how to use it. I remember struggles in my marriage because I didn't know who I was, struggled with my kid. So the flight assessment was phenomenal because it changed my life. It gave me a sense of clarity that I never had before. Like it showed me my value and it showed me like how to market my value, how to understand my value, how to sell my value, like how to put a price tag on what I was worth. I didn't know before. I was watching other videos, watching other people, mimicking other people, trying to do what other people were doing. It didn't work, y'all. And then boom, this assessment showed me me. Now I'm gonna be honest. While I love the assessment, it was on some PhD stuff. Like it was like an advanced degree. So I took the flight assessment 2.0 and simplified it for you. Flight assessment now is a pilot, a flight attendant, a ground crew, air traffic control. Like I simplified it with symbols and words that you can understand so that you can immediately take it and boom, and do something with it. You're going to be able to use it immediately. You're going to figure out who you are, why you tick, what you do. And then you're going to be able to boom, take who you are and what you do and put it in the marketplace and make money. Listen to me very closely. Not only are you going to figure out who you are, you're going to figure out who everybody around you is. And guess what? You're going to slow life down. You're going to slow the game down and you're going to be able to do and be and have stuff you've never had before. So do me a favor. Listen to me. In 15 minutes, your whole life is going to change. Like I revamped the whole thing. I made the investment. I studied this thing for 5-6 years. I studied you. I got it, y'all. I got it. It's going to take 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, you going to know you like you've never known you before. You're going to have resources. You're going to have the people that's going to be able to help you. You're going to be able to go, be, do, have everything you've ever dreamed of. You're going to speak with clarity. You're going to move with clarity. You're going to think with clarity. You're going to write with clarity. And that clarity is going to open up doors that you never imagined that could be open. Are you hearing me? So I went from a YouTube sensation to the #1 motivational speaker in the world. So I want you to do me a favor. Act right now. Don't think, don't overthink, right? Make the investment. Don't spend no money. Make the investment. You're going to get your money back. Click the button. registered, sign up, and do me a favor, bro. I promise you, when you do, after that 15 minutes, you are about to make the rest of your life the best of your life. It's your boy E.T. The flight assessment has revolutionized my life and my family's life and my family's coming life. Let it revolutionize you and your family to come.
Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna talk about honesty. Honesty is more than just telling the truth. It's about being authentic, transformation and genuine. It's instruction and others observers. Honesty forms the foundation of trust, whatever it's a friendship, romantic and relationships or business partnerships. Trust is essential for building strong conditions. Illusion of self-reflection. Being honest with observe is equally important. It means owning dark our state, its weakness to realizing our truth, desire and motivation, and taking responsibility for our action. Honesty is not always easy. It is equally to challenge, vocabulary, and sometimes it's uncomfortable, conventional, but it's temporary discomfort is worth it for the long them behind its being. Radical honest goes behind to surface level. It means being completely open and authentic. Even when it's difficult, it's sharing our thoughts, feelings and experience with integrity and valuability. Personally, I have found that being honest has transformed my relationship. It's allowed me to connect more than deeply with others, to live with greater integrity and cultive of a sense authentically that bring a fulfillment. Host engaging with viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to get a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.